Hey guys, it's me, and today of course I'm doing a review on my beautiful Eclipse book by the wonderful, amazing Stephanie Meyer. And this is the third book in the Twilight Saga, which is composed of Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. Of course, I have the book's names memorized already. This book is 629 pages, 28 chapters, but trust me, it'll fly by so quickly. Before I started reading it, it was over. The book was attached to my hand, and my eyes were glued to the pages, and I couldn't stop reading it. So, it went really fast, and I love this book especially. It was amazing, and I just love all the things that happen in it. It's so great. So right now, I'm going to get to the plot, and if you don't want to know what happens, click out of the video. That was my warning. If you're still here, you want to know what happens, so I'll start. Okay, basically, since Edward's return in New Moon, Bella is in love with Edward, of course, but she's also in love with her best friend, werewolf Jacob Black. So they are basically, Bella is basically torn between Jacob and Edward. Of course, the Cullens can't step foot on the Quillette tribe's land, and the Quillette tribes can't step a foot on the Cullens' land. So she doesn't know who to spend all the time with. She loves both of them very much, and that's how the book starts off. So in the beginning, Bella cannot get in touch with Jacob, even if she tried, and Jacob won't answer her phone calls, won't answer her notes. So one day she writes a note, and Charlie passes it on to Billy to pass on to Jacob, and he finally answers Bella. And this is so cool, this part in the book, which I love, that Stephanie Meyer included handwriting into the book. It just makes it so much more realistic, and that was a great aspect of the book. I thought that was really, really neat. Of course, that is the note. And I think that was just really, really neat. That's from Jacob. And Bella basically says that she missed him and stuff, and he replies by, "Yeah, I miss you too a lot. Sorry, doesn't change anything, Jacob." So basically he misses her, but he can't be with her, can't hang out with her because of Edward. And in the beginning, Charlie tells Bella that she's finally off his punishment from riding the motorcycle, which Jacob confessed to Charlie in New Moon. And Bella's off of punishment. She can now go to Wild Push. She could go to Edward's house. So basically, a lot's gonna happen now. But and one day in the morning while going to school, Edward and Bella are approached by Jacob, who's riding the motorcycle, and Jacob tries to intimidate Edward, and then all Bella's friends are placing bets on who would win, Jacob or Edward, and everyone knows why they're fighting because of Bella. But the principal comes and breaks it up before anything happens, and sentences Jacob to leave the premises. So he leaves, and Jacob and Edward continue class. So in the meantime, Alice who predicts the future, sees Victoria coming back for Bella once again, and that is because, of course, in Twilight, Edward killed James, which was Victoria's mate, and now Victoria wants to return the favor by killing Bella. So it's basically like an eye for an eye, and that's what happens. So Edward hears that Victoria is back in town, and remembers that last year for her birthday, Izzy and Carlisle got Bella airplane tickets, so they decide to visit Renee, and Renee has a long talk with Bella on how she hopes she's not doing the wrong thing because she knows Bella and Edward are seriously involved and they love each other, and she doesn't hope they make the same mistakes that her and Charlie made. So they come back, and of course Edward has to go hunting, so Edward bribed Alice by giving her the car that she wanted. I forget what it was. I think it might have been a Corvette or a Lamborghini, something like that. And bribed Alice with a car to make sure Bella stayed away from the werewolves the whole weekend. So Alice, of course, tries to tempt Bella with a sleepover and stuff, and Edward knows that's because he wants to keep Bella away from the werewolves. So he gives her this big bed and everything, and tries to make her be comfortable as possible. I cannot talk today, I'm sorry. And one of the days while Edward was gone, Bella arrives at school and Jacob comes to pick her up, and she goes with him, and they go back to his house and skip a day of school, and they start hanging out and stuff again, and they tell each other how much they miss him. And of course, Jacob knows that Edward is going to turn Bella into a vampire very soon because of the Volturi and because of Victoria. So he asks her how long does he have to be her friend and everything, and she says a couple of weeks at their graduation. So he basically tells her that he she was never alive, and wishes he never became friends with her and stuff, and he wishes she would like die. So basically she like storms away, and Edward comes back and wants to kill Jacob for saying that to her. So in the meantime, Victoria's back, and someone went through Bella's room and stole all her clothes and stuff and got her scent. And basically now Edward's really nervous. So Jacob wants to protect Jacob wants to protect Bella, and Edward also wants to protect Bella. So they're basically watching out for each other. And Bella one night goes over to Jacob's house, and they learn about all the Paulette legends and stuff, which is really cool. And then one day Bella and Jacob are by themselves, and before Bella leaves, Jacob tells her that he's in love with her and kisses her when she didn't want him to, and Bella punches him in the face and basically breaks her hand because Jacob is so tough. And she screams, and she asked him if he hurt him, and he said she didn't hurt him at all from punching him in the face. So basically, Jacob drops Bella off at her house, and Edward comes to pick her up, and Edward wants to like kill Jacob and all that stuff. So a little bit later, Victoria finally comes along, and the werewolf and the vampires make a pact, and they basically want to kill Victoria. So they kill Victoria at the end, and Edward proposes to Bella, and Bella agrees, and they're gonna get married. And after defeating Victoria and everything, actually no, before defeating Victoria, Jacob wanted to go, because of course Edward is immortal and probably could not get killed by Victoria. Jacob wanted to try to like be bait and stuff and try to kill her, and Bella didn't want anything to happen to Jacob, so to make him not leave, she kissed him and told him she loved him, and now she's stuck between. She loved two of them the same way, and she doesn't know who to be with and stuff. So he goes off and tries to try to help Edward out by killing Victoria. They finally kill her, and at the end, Edward proposes to Bella, and she finally agrees, and Edward sends Jacob a wedding invitation, and Jacob runs away, and that's how the book ends, which is really, really, really neat. And it actually ends in Jacob's point of view, which is actually really cool, and that happens in Breaking Dawn too. Some of the book is in Edward's point of view, which is really neat. Like I said, love this book so much. It was so great, page turner, glued to my eyes. I couldn't stop. It was really, really good. And that has been my review, guys. I hope you liked it. It was a little confusing at the end. I'm sorry. I forgot some stuff that I didn't mean to leave out. And thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys later.